Hello. I am Nancy Ekpezu. I'm a school administrator in a school in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a chartered administrator, a chartered manager, and a certified life coach. I also have over 25 years experience in the education space, and today it is my pleasure to take the topic importance of personal development. And by the way, I'm also the convener of the Facebook group Educational Administration Network, which was founded on the 1st of July 2017 and currently has over 10,000 members now. So the topic today is the importance of personal development. The importance of personal development. Since I'm a certified life coach, one of my key areas is actually as a personal development coach. I love to see people, nudged out of their comfort zones to take on more responsibilities, to develop their capacities, and you cannot do that if you're not constantly investing in yourself, in your personal development. So the topic is the importance of personal development. The importance of personal development. Okay, so I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you can search out and reach out and get me on those social media platforms. Thank you very much. Okay, so I like to start my trainings with a quote. That's because they inspire and motivate me, and then they also sometimes introduce the topic that I'll be taking. So for today's training, you have a quote. It says, income seldom exceeds personal development. Income seldom exceeds personal development. And that quote is a very important one because it simply tells you that if you're not developing yourself, you really may not be able to attract much income. If you look at the people in any field of endeavor, in any profession, who are earning really much, you will always see that they have invested in their personal development to a very good extent. Okay, so income seldom exceeds personal development. Okay, another quote is, personal development is a major time saver. The better you become, the less time it takes you to achieve your goals. The better you become, the less time it takes you to achieve your goals. And that quote is by Brian Tracy. I follow Brian Tracy very closely online. I watch his videos, and he's a very brilliant man. So personal development is a major time saver. The better you become, the less time it takes you to achieve your goals. Another quote, and the last one for this training, is, every moment of one's existence, one is growing into more or retreating into less. You're either growing into more of you or you're retreating into less. Some people will say, oh, I'm just stagnant. I don't think stagnancy is a very workable thing. It doesn't quite work, because if you're not growing, you are retreating, you're going backwards. Okay, so you're either moving forward or you're going backwards. That quote is by Norman Mailer. I didn't take time to explain Brian Tracy's quote. Personal development is a major time saver. The better you become, the less time it takes you to achieve your goals. You may feel that you're spending a whole lot of time investing in yourself, but the truth is, when you get better and better, you see that you effortlessly begin to do a lot of the things that were difficult for you. So it saves you time eventually. So it's a very true quote. Okay, so for this training, there's an outline for it. And we have what is personal development, what is the importance of personal development, what are the myths about personal development, how do you develop yourself, what are the recommended resources for personal development. I'll be giving you a few resources at the end. And then, of course, I'll tell you a bit about my book, The Educator, and we'll conclude this topic. I hope we'll have a great time together. Okay, so personal development is not a new term to you, I'm sure. You must have heard it here or there, all over the place. But what I need us to know is, what is personal development? What is personal development? I'm going to give a definition, but before I give that definition, I would like you to write in the comments or at least say it to yourself what exactly personal development means to you. Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, please just write there what is personal development, and then put it in your own words what you understand by that. Okay, so define it in your own words, because a lot of times you own a concept, you own a thing when you're able to articulate it in the way that you understand. Okay, all right. So I'm sure by now you've done a bit of what you've said to yourself what personal development really means. So personal development, I'll define personal development as an ongoing process of self-improvement, either in your career, in your education, in your personal life, or in all of these areas. I'll define personal development as an ongoing process of self-improvement, either in your career, in your education, in your personal life, or in all of these areas. Take note of the word ongoing. Ongoing is not a one-off thing, it's not a one-time act. Okay, it is an ongoing process of self-improvement, because personal development is targeted at self-improvement. So that could be in your career. Maybe you aim for the top in your career. It could be in your education, to get on to do a master's degree if you already have a first degree, or to even acquire a first degree, what you have is less than that, or even to aim as far as a PhD. It could be in your personal life, maybe in your relationship with people. Maybe you've realized that you need to improve on your personal skills, okay, interrelationship skills. Maybe you've realized that your social skills are lacking. Maybe you've realized that you need to improve on your self-esteem. Whatever it is, okay, you need to improve, and that is what personal development is about. So personal development is also about setting goals for yourself and putting in plans to reach those goals. You know, some people live their lives aimlessly. They just drift through, just drift through life. I used to be like that, I must confess, and I think the majority of people in life are like that, because if it weren't so, most people will actually be living the life of their dreams, okay? But unfortunately, most people are not. So personal development is about setting goals for yourself and putting in plans deliberately to reach those goals. So I'm sure at the beginning of this year, you must have had goals, you must have written things you wanted to do down. It's very important that you put a plan to achieve those goals. Okay, so now we've defined personal development. Let's look at the importance of personal development. What are the things we gain by developing ourselves? What are the things that we stand to gain by developing ourselves? Okay? What is the force about developing ourselves? What do we gain? Why do we do it? What is so important about it? The number one thing you will notice about personal development when you start embarking on it is that it will boost your self-confidence. Okay? I used to be a very withdrawn and timid and shy person. I'm still working on that area, but the truth is it became easier for me to face life, to do a lot of things when I began to develop myself. So a journey of personal development will ultimately boost your self-confidence, because guess what? Knowledge makes you shine. Knowledge makes you confident. When you acquire the right skills, the right knowledge, you just become confident, okay? If you're called to do anything that you have spent time developing, you don't feel nervous, you don't feel self-conscious, you don't feel awkward about it. You just step out there and do it boldly and confidently. So that's one of the things you gain by developing yourself. It boosts your self-confidence. Another is that it develops your strengths. Okay? When you set out to develop yourself, you're going to map out the areas where there are deficiencies, the areas where you have your strengths, and even those areas where you have your strengths can even be better. Perhaps you're good at in your communication skills, but being good is not your ultimate goal. You want to be excellent at it. You want to improve on your pronunciation. You want to improve on a whole lot of things about you in communication, maybe your body language, maybe your tone of voice, maybe just a few things about it. So even the area where you have a strength, you can actually get better in that strength. And of course, you get to work on your areas of weakness, okay? So then it also helps to improve your self-awareness. When you're self-aware, you know how to relate with people. You know your strengths, you know your boundaries, you know your limitations. You develop better emotional intelligence, and you're better able to accept yourself, and people are more accepting of you when you develop yourself. So your self-awareness heightens, increases when you set out to develop yourself. Okay, so when you set out to develop yourself, it forces you out of your comfort zone. There are some things I do now that I never had the confidence to do when I was not developing myself. But now that I'm consciously developing myself, I'm able to step out of my comfort zone and try out some things. Okay, for example, the Group Educational Administration Network was not really my comfort zone. I love my privacy. I just want to be left alone. But here was I, because I had so much to give. There was just something in me nudging me to say, no, you have to give back to society. Get out of your comfort zone. Reach out and see how you can create a forum where you can share best practices in school administration and school leadership. Okay, and so that's what happens. When you develop yourself, there'll be so much inside of you that you won't be able to just contain it. And so that will propel you to move out of your comfort zone, to begin to share with others and to give back, okay? What else is the importance of personal development? It increases your retention chances in your organization. You know, the economy may be bad, and then your employers are thinking about who to lay off. You will not be on that list if you're constantly developing yourself. Because guess what? Every employer wants the best employee retained in his organization. Nobody wants to lay a staff off when he is contributing immensely to the progress and development of the organization. Are we clear on that? Okay, so if people are getting laid off because they're not developing themselves, they're not efficient or productive, the person who is constantly developing himself on that job stands a better chance of retention in such tough decisions, okay? It re-energizes you and increases your creativity. It re-energizes you and increases your creativity. Okay, so when you embark on personal development, it increases your creativity. I cannot tell you how many times I've had gone on trainings and come back, I'm like, wow. I just need to write this down. These are the action points from this workshop or this seminar or this conference. It energizes you, brings more ideas to you on your job, makes you a happier person, increases your creativity. You know, you just bubble over with new ideas and you're able to get creative on your job. That is one thing that personal development will do for you. You never run out of ideas. There are always ideas because you get to collaborate and pick people's brains and get to, get ideas here and there. So ultimately you get creative on your job because you're not stale. Your ideas are not stale. There's a fountain, a bubble of new ideas always coming to you. What else does personal development do? It increases your efficiency and productivity. It increases your efficiency and productivity. So personal development increases your efficiency and your productivity. Okay, when you know better, you do better. And when you know better, you can put the knowledge into skills. Okay, that will now translate to productivity on your job, because there may be some things on your job you're struggling with and you do not know what to do. But when you have the right knowledge and the right people to go to and ask questions, you get more efficient and you become more productive on the job. It increases people's perception and expectation of you. When you're constantly getting better on your job, the perception people have of you will change. If they were looking down on you and they suddenly see that you're rising up and making deliberate efforts to develop yourself, and it's showing on your job, you gain more respect from people. The perception they have of you will start changing, and the expectation they have of you will also start changing. People will begin to come to you for solutions, and of course, that makes you more popular on your job. It makes you more liked, kind of, sometimes. And then it also makes people to have the confidence to give you more responsibilities, which of course now stretches you even more and prepares you for bigger roles and in your organization or even in your personal life. So even in your personal life, if the people see that maybe you have an anger issue and suddenly they see you react more calmly to situations and circumstances around you, the perception they have of you will begin to change. They get more comfortable with you, and then the expectation also changes, because that forms a new pattern for you now. If they knew you to blow up at the slightest provocation, and now you're calm, okay, so it begins to form a new pattern, and then they expect better and better from you. And because they expect better and you're meeting that, it gives more confidence to them, about you. Okay. It ultimately leads to more earning power. If you check the people in any field of endeavor, any profession, who are earning very high salaries or income, they are the people who spend time to develop themselves, because they are the go-to people. They are the ones people have the confidence in to deliver on the job. Okay, it leads to more earning power, and sometimes the earning power may not only be on their jobs. You will see that you earn on the job, and because you're so busy and constructive, and you also have learned time management and a few other things, you're able to juggle between what you do and also give back in other ways outside of your job and still earn money from those ways. Okay, that's it. We have looked around, even in my sector, in the education sector. Okay, the people who earn the highest salaries, of course I have some of them in my close association, among my close associates, and they are the ones who invest hugely in developing themselves. Okay, it makes succession planning easier. It makes succession planning easier. Okay, so when there is a vacancy, your boss will feel more at ease to recommend somebody who has been developing himself into that role. For example, if your boss even resigns or retires and you've been developing yourself and you're already at a certain level in the organogram, and there are several other people on that level, it will be easier to spot you and say, yes, this is the person we are recommending to fill this role, because he's been taking on more responsibilities, he's actually stretched himself, he's been developing himself, and we're confident that he's going to deliver on this position. So it makes succession planning easier. Succession, that's to succeed someone, on a position. It makes it a lot easier when people are developing themselves. Okay, it makes you become a master at your field. You become a go-to person. People know you as the master. Okay, I remember when I took out time to start the Educational Administration Network, I observed that a whole lot of people who had issues in their organizations in terms of school leadership or school administration would just inbox me and start asking questions, because they saw me as a master in my field. So when people mention those in education administration, my name pops up very easily, because I'm known as a master in that field. That is my area, and I do excellently at it. When people have issues with building structures in their organization, they have issues with policies, procedures, putting structure in school, all of the things, evaluating staff members, getting the right templates that make work easier and all of that. They just find it so easy to talk to me, because I'm recognized as a master, in my field. Then it opens doors and opportunities to you, because people know you, because you're developing yourself and making it obvious. Opportunities will come to you when there are things to be done. People look for you. Okay, people come looking for you. People come knocking at your door. They need you to collaborate. They need you to do this or to do that or to do this and this and that. So that's how it works. So it opens doors and opportunities for you. And of course, some of those doors and opportunities also come with money. Therefore, more money, more earning power as well, and more opportunities for you. Okay, so those are just some of the some of the things you get to enjoy when you embark on a deliberate journey of personal development. Okay, so what are the general misconceptions about personal development? Knowing that it is so important, why don't some people invest in themselves to develop? Why don't people develop themselves? What are the myths? MITHS myths. What are the myths about personal development? What stops people from developing themselves? Let's have a look at this quickly. Okay. So some people say it is my employer's sole responsibility to train and develop me. Some people say it is my employer's sole responsibility to train and develop me. And some say I can only attend free courses. Okay, some say it is all about showing the certificates I have acquired. So we're going to look at each of these one by one. Number one, it says it is my employer's sole responsibility to train and develop me. Of course, we know that is a myth. It is not true, because your employer is not solely responsible for training and developing you. It starts with you. It is your decision to develop yourself that matters above anybody else's decision. And so you have to take a decision to start developing yourself. If you're at a certain level and you have noticed you need to be at another level, identify the gap and then begin to work on yourself. So do not, push that to anybody else. That is actually your responsibility. It is your responsibility to take the decision. It is your responsibility to step out and start developing yourself. It is your responsibility to look for the money to start grooming yourself, to start training. It is your responsibility to look out for those areas where you need to develop and look for where you can even do the courses that need to develop you, or look for the right books to read to develop yourself. Okay, so please, it is not your employer's sole responsibility to train and develop you. I'm not saying your employer should not contribute to this, but we live in a real world. Okay, and there's just so much they can invest in every of their employees, and so it is the onus lies on you to step out and start developing yourself, and to do it very well to the point that it gets you from where you are to where you desire to be. Okay, another set of people say I can only attend free courses. I really appreciate all of the people who do the free courses that are flying around everywhere. I do free courses too. But free courses cannot address everybody's problems, because if, for example, there's a course on emotional intelligence and that's not what I need, and then that's the only free one available, just because I've taken it doesn't mean it solves my other problems. Are you getting me? So you've got to, apart from attending the free courses, please look for courses that are paid and which address your exact needs. Courses which are paid and which address your exact needs. So do not just sit there and be looking for only free courses. Free courses are good. I'm not undermining them. I do quality free courses. People attend my webinars on my group free. I just did one recently. But please do not stop at that, because those are the ones I have thought of. How about you doing a check on yourself and seeing the areas that you really need training on, and consciously and deliberately looking for those areas instead of waiting for someone to just hand you a free course. So free courses are good, but specifically look for the ones that address your specific need. All right, it's all about showing the certificates I have acquired. I remember a school that I headed, and when we set goals and everybody was meant to do at least 1 or 2 professional courses within the school year, and it was going to reflect on their evaluation. Some people decided any which way to just go to do a training and bring a certificate. Then they'll bring it to my secretary and say, take, so that Miss Nancy can leave me alone and give me a good evaluation. I've attended a course. Please, I want to address this because it's a mindset, especially amongst educators. Not only educators, I think it happens very often in several other sectors. People just want to acquire certificates. That certificate may well be a piece of paper if you do not translate the knowledge you've acquired while attending that program into skills that you can use on your job. So please ensure that you use you do not just stop at getting the certificate. And I'm not saying don't get the certificate, don't get me wrong, but please don't stop at that. Ensure that you actually go ahead to translate the knowledge. First, acquire even the knowledge. Some people go to those courses and do not even acquire knowledge. Okay, acquire the knowledge, take note of the action points, develop them, and translate to skills. Make sure you use them on your job and that it shows. Okay, so please, that is a myth. It is not all about showing the certificates you have acquired. Okay, so even if you have a box full of them and you cannot defend any of them, that will not do you any good. I have personally I've been in an interview panel where I saw candidates bring in loads and loads of certificates, and you'd ask them questions on those courses, they couldn't even answer them, and I'm like, whoa, what did you spend your time doing? You may have as well just sat in your house, because you're not any better than the person who did not attend. The only thing you have to show is a certificate, and that's not good enough. Okay, so another myth: when I start earning more money, I will develop myself. I want to say that is a myth, because the truth is, no matter the level where you're at, you can plan to develop yourself with the little you have. And as the money grows, you also increase the percentage that you spend on developing yourself. So money is not an excuse I want to accept, because the people that will tell you they do not have money for other things. And guess what? What is important to you finds its way to your budget. If something is important to you, it will show in your budget. If you budget to actually develop yourself. If it is not important, then you will not spend on it. So if you're not spending anything on developing yourself, my conclusion to you, I put it to you, that it means that your personal development is not important to you. Because if it is important, you will find a way around it. People deny themselves extra new clothes and shoes and bags and weave-ons, and even one or two trips, just to make sure that they invest appropriately and adequately in themselves. So I would not accept money as an excuse for not developing yourself. No matter the level where you are, there are so many resources on the internet, free e-books. You can even borrow books from friends. You can go online to do courses. You can join groups and that are non-subscription based. There is no excuse, my dear. Go on and develop yourself. Do not give money as an excuse. Funding is not an issue, not in this time and age of the digital age. Okay, a degree in my area is enough. Some people say, well, I have a degree in my area, that's fine by me. Why do I need to develop myself? I have a first degree in microbiology, I have a first degree in botany, I have a first degree in education, or I have a first degree in human resource management, whatever. But please, a first degree is not enough, because the rate at which things are changing, there's just so much changing constantly, and your degree is already obsolete as you're graduating, and so you need to constantly update your knowledge. You need to constantly move higher. If you stop at a first degree, there's someone doing a master's, and you may be in the same office, and there may be an opening that requires someone who has a master's to step up, and you'll be left behind. So in order to be the one who gives yourself the advantage, please make sure that your degree is not enough, that you step higher than that. Okay, here is another myth. It says it does not matter if I train or develop myself. Well, I have news for you. It does matter. Why does it matter? Because the world is not taking permission from you to move. The world is constantly evolving, constantly changing. And if you're not reinventing yourself, then you're going to be left behind. You are left behind. I was watching a video about a lady who had to speak, I think, in a country where she didn't understand the language. And then she had to get a hologram to do the job for her. And I was like, whoa, this is so mind-blowing. And we're still here. Oh my goodness, there's so much to do. So you cannot say it doesn't matter if I train or develop myself, because people are developing themselves, and you have to relate with these people. You have to look for jobs with them. You have to do stuff with them. And if they are developing themselves and you're not, automatically that leaves you behind. So a decision not to develop yourself puts you at a very, very tough disadvantage. So I urge you to develop yourself, because it matters that you train and develop yourself. You live in a world that is constantly changing, constantly evolving. Everything is changing at the speed of light. Technologies pop up every now and then. Today it is the Facebook, tomorrow it's Twitter, tomorrow next is Screencast-O-Matic. It is one thing, it is one, there are so many apps coming up, so many at the speed of light. So much in technology, so much tech to cope with. You can't be left behind. So please don't say that it does not matter, because guess what? It does matter. Thank you. All right, so now we have made all this noise about the importance. We have defined what personal development is. We have looked at the importance, and then we have looked at needs, why people do not develop themselves. Now we're looking at the ways you can develop yourself. So what are the various avenues you use in developing yourself? How do I develop myself? How do I develop myself? Number one, read widely and voraciously. Before, books used to be just hard books, hard prints. But now you have e-books, you have podcasts, you have webinars, you have all sorts. Please read and read and read. Read books, read e-books. Read hard copies, read soft copies. Just read and read. And focus on the areas where you have issues, but learn to read widely and generally. Read so much that you stretch your mind. And when your mind is stretched, it never goes back to how it was. Keep reading. Just keep reading. Read and read and read. At your spare time, read. It's so easy now. You can read when you are in a taxi, you are in a Uber, you are in Taxify, you're driving. You can be listening to even an audio book. I mean, the world has has made life so much easier. If you're not the type that wants to go opening a book and opening page by page, you can do the listening to the e-book, to the audio book. Okay, and if you do not feel comfortable carrying heavy books in your bag, you have all on your phone. That little phone in your hand, it can contain all the books that you'll ever need in your entire life. Okay, so that's it. Read and read and read. Focus on the areas you have issues. Read books on personal development. Read books in your technical area, the areas of your profession that you need the technical skills to do. All right. Now, attend relevant courses, seminars, and workshops. Free webinars, paid ones. Workshops, seminars, courses, online, on-site, whatever. You can do courses right on your phone. You can sit in the comfort of your house and do a course in Australia and UK. Just go ahead and take advantage of all these workshops and seminars and courses and all sorts and conferences. And when you get there, please do some networking, okay? Now, join relevant professional groups online and on-site. On Twitter, there are groups. On LinkedIn, there are groups, professional groups. On Facebook, there are all sorts of groups. Don't just get on social media and spend all the time whiling away and showing off your clothes and your hair and shoes and your girlfriend and wife and family. That's important. But please also make sure that you join professional groups and get active and learn. Okay, don't just be a number there. Develop a professional and personal development library. Build an e-library. Have books, build them into categories: personal development, professional courses, religious ones, all the areas of your life where you need to read. Have a library around those areas and buy books, invest in books. I tell people usually that I have more books than I have clothes and shoes put together, and I have a reason for that, because I love to develop myself. Okay, keep company with people who are developing themselves. Very important. Do not hang around those who tell you, oh, now, how could you be spending all this money on developing yourself? Can't you think of other things to do with your money than buy books and attend courses, attend workshops? Well, you don't need such people around you if you're heading somewhere big. You need to leave the company of those kind of people. Don't hang around mediocre people. Hang around people who are going to help you grow, people who will nudge you out of your comfort zone and ask you, what are you doing with yourself? What last did you read? What are the things you're working on? So keep company with people who are also developing themselves. And it's only those who are developing themselves that will ask you the kind of questions I've just asked now. Okay, don't be around those who downplay your journey and put you down and tell you can't get anywhere. No, no, no. Leave those ones behind. Focus on the ones who help your personal growth and development. Learn to network effectively. You need to learn to network effectively. It's very important. So learn to network effectively. Create a blog or a group to share with others. Okay? And okay, let me focus on learning to network effectively. When you get to events, do not be an island. Move out, encourage, get to know people, take their phone numbers, find out those who do similar things with you, so that you get to network and share ideas and collaborate. And please, when you network, do not be a taker. Some people network and all they do is just take and take and take. Learn to share as well. And don't let taking and taking be your motive for networking. Excuse me. Create a blog or a group to share with others. Create a blog or a group to share with others. Out of the overflow of what you have learned, you see that you get to a level where you become a master, and then you can begin to share with others. The group I have on Facebook, Educational Administration Network, with over 10,000 members, actually came when I saw that I was learning so much and there was a need to share with other people. So it was born out of a need to share best practices in school administration. And so, you'll find out that you either will start a blog or you just find an avenue to share with other people when you're developing yourself. Have a personal development plan, PDP. Well, PDP is not just the name of a political party in Nigeria. it also refers to personal development plan, PDP. So have a personal development plan. What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to go? What are the skills I need to get there? What are the resources I need in order to get there? Who are the kind of people I need to hang around in order to get there? Okay, so all of those things will be found in your PDP. Take on new risk that will catapult you to success. Sometimes when you take on a risk, you now see the gaps. Maybe you've been in a certain position and you're promoted, and instead of saying no to that promotion, take it or take that new job and then realize, ooh, look at me, I have so many things I need to learn here. So you now see that you need to keep learning, and that will catapult you to success. Okay, so now that we've learned how to develop ourselves, let me recommend some resources for your personal development. If you're in the education space, the book Dear Educator by Nancy Ekpezu, that's by me, is going to be a very useful one. Please make sure you get a copy on Roving Heights online bookstore, rhbooks.com.ng, Roving Heights online bookstores, and it will be delivered to you right in your home, whether you're in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. The Educator was published in May 2019, and it's a book that you need. It's a very loaded book, if I must say so myself. Okay, when you have got your copy of The Educator, and please make sure you do, go to LinkedIn Learning. There are lots of topics there you can learn from. Go to Coursera, go to Udemy, go to Udacity, go to Allison, and you can check EDX, you can check Code Academy, you can check Open Learn, Degreed, Open Study, Open to Study. Google has a whole lot of digital learning things you can learn from on their digital platform. They even go to workshops and seminars and send representatives to do a whole lot of training. So please take advantage of those as well. Then do Future Learn. You should also read books by John Maxwell and Brian Tracy on personal development. John Maxwell is known for leadership. If you're trying to develop your leadership skills, he's a go-to person. He mentors a whole lot of people. Brian Tracy, the same thing. And then Skill Crush, Skills Share, Education World, Linda, Ed Helper, Scholastic for Teachers, Discovery Education, Learner, Open Education Resources. Okay, so those are, you can also go on Google and just check for, courses that you can take that are free, check for the ones that are paid. Okay, that would be very, very nice. Okay, let me just tell you a bit about my book, Dear Educator. Dear Educator shares insights and nuggets to give the educator the advantage in his career. It distills the over 25 years experience of the author Nancy Ekpezu in a very readable and appealing manner, equipping the educator with the needed knowledge to excel at his craft. Dear Educator goes for 3,500 naira on Roving Heights online bookstores, and it goes for 3,000 if you happen to meet me anywhere or get in touch with any of the contacts where you can buy physically. All right, so let's conclude now about this topic, the importance of personal development. Now, the journey of self-improvement is an ongoing process of constant learning. It is your responsibility to invest in your personal development. It begins with you. Personal development begins with you. I'll take that again. Personal development begins with you. Personal development begins with you. So please say this to yourself. It is my responsibility to invest in my personal development. Did I hear you say that? And then say it again. Personal development begins with me. Personal development begins with me. All right. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity to share with you. I love to do this. And so if you need to connect with me, you can find me on +234, that's the code for Nigeria, 803-5880367, or you can find me on Twitter as Nancy Ekpezu. You can find me on Instagram as Nancy Ekpezu. You can also find me on LinkedIn, okay, as Nancy Ekpezu. And I have an online community called the Education Administration Network. You can also get me there on Facebook. So until I come your way again, it's bye for now. And thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. I really appreciate this. Okay.